My dear friend Warren Mendes has become an author, and I'm so excited for him because your book is stunning and the recipes are just incredible.
I didn't even pay her to say that. She just thinks that truly.
I really do. This book is just outstanding. And I love it because it's an education for me. I don't know much about South African food. So to learn about it and then go home and cook it is quite a nice thing. And the best thing about it is it's not complicated. It's actually really bright, happy food, just like this recipe.
And I don't think food should be a fussy thing, especially when you're cooking at home. And
Yes.
South African flavour is all about big flavour and colourful flavour, just like the country is the rainbow nation. So if you look here, this kind of looks like a rainbow.
What are we making?
We're making one of the country's famous relishes, which is called Chakalaka, which is fun to say. Say Chakalaka.
Chakalaka, I love it.
It's this beautiful relish everyone keeps in their fridge. So to start off, we're going to cook down some onions and capsicums.
Okay.
2 colours, because why not?
Why not? So pretty. And I guess this is quite easy to put together, but just a lot of chopping.
A lot of chopping, so that's what we're going to be doing. You're going to get ready to chop?
Yes.
Okay. Jazz, could you chop these coriander stalks?
Okay, I can do that for
I'm still
you.
pouring the oil because you do need a lot of oil because there is a lot of veg that's going to be cooking here.
Yep, absolutely.
And then I'm going to just pick these thyme leaves. So there are big flavours here. There's, garlic and ginger and thyme and chilli and all these spices.
How would you describe South African food, or is that a really tricky question? Because we could talk for hours and hours about
I think
it.
we could talk for hours on it. I think it's just a melting pot of flavour. The country's made up of so many different cultures and cuisines that they combine into dishes like this, which represent so many different places.
Yeah.
And then, like in certain dishes, it just suddenly makes sense somehow. Just going with these onions.
Yeah, sure.
And so there's another dish called bobotie, which is kind of like a South African shepherd's pie or cottage pie, but it's got lots of spices in it. And so you have that, and it just makes sense. These cuisines collide, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fusion done right.
It is. And you know what? Usually I don't like capsicum. It's my one thing I don't like to eat raw.
Do you know what? I agree with you. I can't eat it raw because I just taste it all day.
Yeah.
But if it's cooked low and slow, love it.
It becomes beautiful and
It
sweet.
changes, absolutely.
Okay, carrot, could we please grate that?
Can do.
Coarsely grate.
So there's
Those
our...
can go in.
Yeah, they can go in?
Yep. So coriander stalks, lots of flavour. And then we're also going to add this thyme, which gives like intense kind of savoury flavour. And then a bit of chilli. I'm going to go in and not take the seeds out. So if you leave the seeds in, we're going to have a bit of heat.
Yep. What region does Chakalaka come from in South Africa, or is it just you can find it everywhere?
And look, everyone eats it now, but it originally is from Soweto, which is a township in Johannesburg. And so it was kind of known as the Soweto relish. And it just has so much flavour. So there's a thing called shisenyama in South Africa, which means burnt meat, which doesn't sound very attractive, but it's basically big barbecues set up, and you go to a shisenyama, and there's barbecued meats, and then you'll have chakalaka over it, and it's just so much flavour, but simple. Okay, so seeds in, so we're going to have some fire.
Yep.
And then we can go in with that carrot in a moment. I don't want to put it in yet because it'll start to sweat down too much. So that has cooked down a bit. In with the garlic.
Yep.
Lots of garlic and lots of ginger.
You did say big, bold flavours.
And don't hold back on all those because they do cook down. You're not going to have that kind of raw garlic flavour.
Yep.
Then a lot of spice, Juz. So we've got some turmeric. That's kind of African sunset, that vibe.
Oh,
Try and be dramatic about the whole thing.
So poetic.
Some ground cumin, curry powder, a lot of curry powder, and then some smoked paprika. That kind of, using the smokiness, I think reflects kind of the braai or the barbecue, and it just really brings out beautiful flavours in here. Tomato paste for richness, and then Jazzy, we can go in with this carrot. And do you mind chopping up those tomatoes?
Yes, how many do you want? The whole lot?
Let's go with 2 of them. Okay. So carrots go in. Carrots are going to be beautiful and naturally sweet. And then those tomatoes are going to add kind of a bit of savoury sweetness as well. And they can be kind of chunky.
Okay.
Let's do them together.
Yes.
Kind of really chunky.
Chunky bits. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That chunky.
Yeah, because it's going to all cook down. Because this is a relish which doesn't need to be fine at all.
There we go. And a little bay leaf?
Yes, bay leaf and some salt.
Yes.
Then I'm going to give it a stir, add some water, and then cook for about 20 minutes.
Nice one.
Okay, Juz, all the flavours have done their thing.
Yep.
we can go in with some chickpeas, which aren't traditional. Usually you'd use kind of a white bean.
Right.
But I'm using chickpeas.
Why not?
A bit of vinegar. And then we're going to cook this for another 10 minutes until it's totally reduced.
Okay.
Okay, Juz, so this has cooled down completely.
Yes.
And you can see how beautiful and rich this relish is.
Yum.
And now, of course, we're going to taste it with some bread here now.
Yep.
But you have this on some steak or on some fried eggs or basically kind of any savory dish. And it just adds a real kick
Yep.
of flavour. But you keep this in the fridge, it's going to keep for a few weeks.
And you mentioned that it's usually done with white beans, but I would do that with white beans too. It's great. It's almost like a South African, dare I say, baked beans, would you say?
Ooh, but this has true flavour. You know, I don't like baked beans.
Oh!
Controversial, I know, but this has so much more flavour.
Do you know why I say that? Because it's got lots of spices in it. You've got the tomatoes, the carrots, it's cooked down. But for me, that's served with an egg, you know, gooey yolk, some crunchy bread. The absolute tops.
Perfection. But here, for the purpose of this, let's just taste it on some of this crunchy bread.
You didn't fried me some eggs?
I was busy. But have that, a bit of coriander on top, because
Yes,
I love
please.
coriander. And then you're going to get the true flavour of it. And imagine that on a succulent steak, a piece of fish.
That would be great with any fried meat, even maybe a boerewurst.
Yeah, boerewors with some chakalaka on top and some pap, which is like a white polenta.
Yes.
Perfection. That is South Africa on a plate.
This is you and I. We could sit here all day and talk about what we could put chakalaka with. I still think the eggs tops it.
But I think this with a glass of wine.
Oh, yes, a glass of wine. Okay, enough talking. Enough talking.